call upon our next speaker, who has come all the way from the Punjab, is Jaswant Singh Khaira, who is the Secretary of the Human Rights Wing of the Shiromani Akali Dal. Mr. Khaira.
Dear friends, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Shri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. First of all, on behalf of the Sikhs in India, I thanks to the Member of Parliament who have written a strong letter to Indian government to withdraw the TAD Act. And I hope that the people of Canada, the members of Parliament and government will help us to protect the human rights which have been violated by the Indian government there. One thing which is a good experience for me, I want to share with you that when I have to enter the Parliament complex, I ask my host that if I can carry the kirpan to this complex, and I was happy that when my host told me that yes, you can carry kirpan in the Canadian Parliament complex. And there is a tragedy in India that when our leader Simranjit Singh Mann was elected with a record margin to the Parliament, he was refused the entry into Indian Parliament with kirpan, and it is a shameful thing for India, and we are so sorry that in our country, which we consider that that is our country, we are not have a freedom to carry our religious symbol. And in this point, I can tell you that in the 400 pages of Indian Constitution, there is a single line which is related to the Sikhs, and that line is that a Sikh can wear and carry the kirpan. Only line in the Indian Constitution. And when the Simranjit Singh Mann was going to the Parliament, he was denied the entry because he is carrying the kirpan. So these are the positions. Now I come to the real commemoration of the day. I will tell you the story that in these 11 years, I personally want to enter the Golden Temple on the day when the Indian forces, when the Indian army destroyed our religious Akal Takht Sahib, but in 5 times I was arrested along with others, and there is no permission for Sikhs to commemorate this day in the Golden Temple. And this is the position that after the June 1984, our Golden Temple is in the siege of the security forces, and we have to enter in the Golden Temple after our whole search with the security forces. And our right to religion, our right to enter our main central religious place is violated in India, and we want that if you cannot help us in our political goal, political objective, please help us for our human rights and the basic human rights of the man. We the Sikhs consider that the basic human rights is the right to religion, and we have denied this right, and this is the position that we cannot commemorate this day in the Golden Temple. And it is the first time from 84 that I am commemorating this day, and that is the place which is not in India, in Ottawa. So I want to share some other things about the human rights, because the UN Human Rights Charter has given some universal human rights to the every human being in the world, but in India we have been denied these basic human rights. First of all, I have explained you that right to religion has been denied. Then the right to expression, the second main human rights, we have been denied. We cannot express our feelings, and there is an example that Mr. Simranjit Singh Maan have been detained because he addressed a gathering and said that we want a freedom, and he is detained under the TAD Act. So the expression right is also denied. There are some other rights, even the right to association. So there is a new act in Indian Parliament, the People's Representative Act, in which we have been forbidden to make an association based on our religion. The discrimination is based on religion, and we are only discriminated that we are the Sikhs, but we are forbidden to associate, to make a political party, to appeal on the issue that there is a religious discrimination, and in the elections they can ban us, the Akali party or any party who is based on the religion. So this is the violation of our human rights to have an association. For the TAD or other acts, I will request you that the real cause for forming these acts, there are so many nationalities in India who want to have a right to self-determination, but in the name of unity and integrity of India, they impose such acts and they detain people. You know that in 47, two states which are the Christian majority states, Nagaland and Mizoram, they were crushed by armed forces in the name of unity and integrity. Now they are crushing the Kashmir and Punjab. So we appeal to the international community that you should pressurize the Indian government that the right to self-determination should be incorporated in the Constitution, so that the people who want this right to self-determination should not be called the secessionist, and they should not be booked under the Terrorist and Destructive Act. So you should ask the Indian government to incorporate this right to self-determination in the Indian Constitution. There is a right to leave the country, which UN has granted. There is a right to enter the country. We, the Sikh people, as the Sikh people from abroad wants to